Hey guys, glad you can make it back. Now we've already gone through steps 1 to 5 of the 6-step process. Now it's very important that you actually take the time and actually go through, actually write down each of these that I actually mentioned to you before. So just in case, let me give you a quick recap before we go through step 6. So step 1 is identify what area of your life that you're actually dissatisfied with and want to change, and what does that change look like. Step 2, why is it a must for you? Something that's emotionally compelling, that you have an emotional connection to. Step 3, what will be the consequences if you don't follow through? What will you lose? What pain will you continue to experience in your life? Step 4, list all the hindrances actually keeping you, the things, the mental barriers that are holding you back from moving forward. And step 5, out of all those hindrances, those mental barriers, which one are you committed to working on over the next 12 months? So now that we've actually done a recap, let's get into step 6. And step 6, the final step, is what one action, just one, what one action will you commit to consistently doing every single day that will move you one step closer each day to your goal over the next 12 months? Now, it can be anything. I mean, I'm not going to, tell you guys what that one step should be. I mean, you should know, based on what your goals are. But one of the things I will say to you is whatever it is, ensure that it's something that's small and simple. Why? Because if it's something that takes too much effort, takes too much out of you, then it's very easy for you to become overwhelmed, and then you may decide to give up on your goals, and then next year we'll be back here, watching this video all over again. So whatever it is, ensure that it's something that's small and simple. Alright guys, now that you've identified that one small, simple action step that you can take, another thing I want to share with you in the 6th step of the 6-step process is identifying or setting a certain standard and expectation for yourself. In other words, what are you unwilling to compromise? What are you unwilling to sacrifice in order to ensure that you keep consistent with this action? Now this is very important. Why? Because if you set a level of standard and expectation for yourself, then it's very unlikely that you'll actually compromise on it. It's very unlikely that you'll find excuses why you can't do it. But if you don't set that standard expectation, and very important, also committing to it, then it's going to be very easy for you to, justify or to find excuses or to find reasons why you didn't do it today, why you didn't do it all of last week. And before you know it, missing one day turns to missing 1 week, then 1 month, and before you know it, 1 entire year has passed and you still haven't actually taken action towards your goals and dreams. So I wanted to go ahead and identify that one step right now, that standard and expectation that you set for yourself, that you'll be unwilling to compromise. Alright, so you've done that. Great. Now, one of the things I want you to identify is to actually set your schedule. What does that mean? Meaning, at what point during the day are you actually committed to taking this one step? Now, when I say set the schedule, it doesn't necessarily mean setting an exact time. Why? Well, let's say for example, you decided that you wanted to, lose weight, you want to exercise more, you wanted to work out more. And you set a time that every day at 5 a.m. you're going to exercise. Well, one of the things is if you wake up, let's say at 5:30, and you no longer have the time to exercise, then what's going to happen is it's going to become very easy for you to justify, well, I missed the 5 a.m. Workout routine, so I'll just do it tomorrow. But then tomorrow comes and it's the same thing. You wake up at 6 a.m. So we don't want it to become a cycle that keeps repeating itself. So one of the things I found that worked excellent for me, and I've also worked excellent for other people that I've actually introduced this step to, is instead of setting a time, set a moment. Now what does that mean? Well, let's use the same example. Let's say every morning you decide that before you get ready for work, you're going to exercise. So let's say every morning you probably get ready for work at 7 a.m. Well, what that means is if you wake up at 5 a.m., that's right before you get ready for work at 7, so you can exercise. If it's 6 a.m., you can still work out. Even if it's 6:45 or 6:45, you can still take the time, even if it's just for 50 minutes to work out. So that way you're not necessarily, what can I say, restricted by time, but by moment. One of the things I did with a gentleman that I work with is, he had certain limitations that he wanted to break through. So I suggested to him that every day before lunch, take X action. So, he's very busy with his schedule. So sometimes, lunch for him may be at 1, sometimes at 2, sometimes lunch isn't until 4. But the great thing about this is that it gives him greater flexibility to ensure that there are no excuses in helping him to actually stick to the daily consistency of taking action, because that's what we really want. We really want to be able to take consistent action and not necessarily be restricted to any one particular point in time. So I want you to identify that right now. What one particular moment in the day, whether before or after a particular action, will you actually follow through with your one daily small simple action step? So go ahead and identify that right now. Alright guys, so one last thing I want you to do is something we call track and measure. Now basically what that means is being able to set some sort of indicator or parameter that you can use to track and measure your progress, your results. Now I'm not going to get into too much detail about that right now, but let's just say one of the things I've realized is when you're actually tracking and measuring your progress, then it makes it easier for you to remain consistent. Why? Because you're actually seeing your progress. It helps to better encourage you to ensure that you stay on path, and as well it helps to identify probably certain things that certain tweaks or certain things that you can refine in order to improve the entire process. So it's very important for you to actually track and measure your daily progress, your daily activity of what you're actually doing and what you actually commit to. So you can even identify gaps in areas that you may not be consistent or that can improve. Now, to make it a lot easier for you guys, one of the things I've actually done is to include a link to the track and measure sheet, the TMM sheet that I actually use, and I've shared with other people I've worked with as well, to make it easier for you so you don't have to go and figure out what exactly should be a part of this sheet. So you can actually download that in the link in the description below that I've shared with you. Now go ahead, download it, and I actually want you to commit to this, guys. Commit to this. It's very important that you actually commit to actually following through with these action steps. Alright guys, so that's it. We've gone through the reason for 5 years to mastery, why and how it came about, and we actually broke down the 6 steps in greater detail. Now one of the things I want to share with you is what we plan to do, because we want to help you. We don't want you to just be consistent every now and then. We don't want you to break through only once in a while, but we want to help you to remain consistent right throughout the year so that you can take daily action steps towards your goals. And one of the things that we're actually going to do to help you with that is you can visit 5y2m.com. That's 5, the number 5, y, 2, the number 2, m.com. And each week we'll be posting articles about consistency, about breaking through, about helping you to realize your full potential. And also training videos will be posted once every month that can also help you with that as well. Now one of the things you definitely want to do is to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because I'll be posting these videos on YouTube and then sharing them on the blog, and also posting the articles on the blog as well. So you want to subscribe to ensure that you get notified whenever those new videos actually come out. Alright guys, so that's it. I am glad that you actually took time out to spend this time with me to actually go through all of this. I'm excited, guys. It's been a long time coming. I'm literally feeling goosebumps, but I'm happy that you actually are here with me. You share this experience with me, and I'm looking forward to actually sharing the entire journey of the 5 years to mastery process with you. Alright guys, so with that said, was this video helpful? Was it useful? I want you to comment below, let me know, and share with others that you know so they can benefit as well. So until next time guys, I'm Winston once again. Take care and all the best. Goodbye.